women out there, you got these little teeny weeny baby hands, and the phones are too big.
You damn little teeny weeny baby hands.
I got those
Maybe you should grow your hands a little damn bigger.
Teeny weeny bitchy hands.
Yeah, we're gonna take it up a few notches right now. See if y'all can keep up. Wanna give a motherfucker
What's up, everybody, and welcome to episode 36 of the ScruffCast. I'm Dan.
And I'm John.
And today, we've got some good stuff for you guys.
As we do every week, I hope.
Maybe I should also stop doing these intros, too, along with reading the articles. Maybe you don't even need me anymore on this.
No, if I could just set up like a soundboard on the other side.
Where you can just have like a...
Yeah, I read an article, and then I hit a button, and it goes, veteran move.
Okay, yeah, we'll just make a soundboard for me.
Yeah, in case the listeners haven't noticed, we've been alternating intros. You've been doing the even numbers. I've been doing the odd numbers. Just a little bit of ScruffCast lore for those of you out there keeping track on our Wikipedia page, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Maybe. Are we?
Anybody can make a Wikipedia page, right?
Yeah, maybe we need to make our own Wikipedia page.
I was going to say we should get someone out there, like, oh, maybe I know someone who would know how to do that, but, like, that person is you. Like,
yeah.
You're the go-to person I would go to for something like that.
Yeah, you could just edit and, like, add any topic in.
All right.
I don't think it needs to be, like, vetted. Like, it needs to have, like, be linking to different sources or something.
It needs to?
I think so, because I think if it's, like, not credible, in air quotes here, the Wikipedia will take it down. I don't know.
Well,
maybe we need our dedicated listeners out there, our massive fan base. Get on it. ScruffCast
Someone
on
make
Wiki.
us a Wikipedia.
Yeah.
All right.
That's your listener homework. You know, we should add a little listener homework segment where they have to do something that praises us each week for the next episode.
I like the sounds of that, but we'll have to drop something else because there's too much stuff.
Yeah, we'll see. Anyway.
Soon this whole podcast is going to be no articles, and it's just all going to be like segments. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just praising us talking
this
about
and this and that. Oh, this question to ponder. Jabroni of the week. Hero of the week.
Speaking of question to ponder, Dan,
why
don't you tell the listeners what the question to ponder was from last week's episode?
All right. For anyone who forgot, the question to ponder was, would you rather have to say everything that comes to your mind or never say anything again? For me, this is a pretty easy decision.
What is it?
For me, I would never say anything again.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
The only downside is we'd never be able to do this podcast.
Yeah, I guess. Maybe it's in everybody's best interest.
Maybe. But having to say everything that comes to your mind, that's too risky.
Oh, way too risky. I have some terrible things that come to mind sometimes.
We already get into some sort of territory on the podcast, and which we can go edit, which we never do. But
we don't edit it, but we're pretty good at just filtering ourselves.
Right, without that filter, oh boy.
Yeah, it's like there was a movie, The Invention of Lying.
I know of the movie, but I never watched it.
With the British guy,
Ricky Gervais.
Yeah, and like it's nobody lies, so everybody just tells the truth. It's like almost the same thing, right?
Ugh, that's not a world I want to live in. I want the lies.
Yeah, a little white lie never hurt anybody, you know?
I mean, what, you can tell the truth all the time? No way. No bueno.
Okay.
All right.
So we do have an email.
We do. A listener wrote in with their answer to the question and a bit more. The title, or the subject of their email, Pondering. Hello, Scruffies.
Oh, I'm not sure.
I'm not sure how I feel about that either. Scruffies. Maybe the Scruffies are our fans. Or we're the Scruffs.
Or stuffed animals. Like we have our own little figurines.
Like a little beanie bag line?
Yeah, we're like Scruffies. Beanie Babies.
Oh, bean bag. No, Beanie Babies. A bean bag line.
A bean bag line. We can also make those. It's just like a giant inflatable us's with beans in them.
You can get that ScruffCast merch.
Yeah.
All right. Hello, Scruffies. Last week's podcast was excellent and so interesting and educational in so many ways.
I don't know if I'm buying that already.
Sounds like they're buttering us up a little.
Yeah, all right.
Just thought I'd give you a little bit more information on one of the top topics you touched on last week. Dan's second cousin, Laura, who just happens to be a witch, in quotes. No, she's not the type of witch who will boil you in a cauldron. She's actually a priestess in Wicca. Yes, she can marry you if you really want her to. I guess Wicca is like the religion that they have.
I guess so.
Which I have a story to tell about after.
Oh, wow. Okay.
She's actually a priestess in Wicca and follows an old Irish pagan religion. She also teaches paganism as it relates to Ireland, Irish history, and mythology, as well as authoring 4 books so far on all things pagan and Irish and mystical. Okay.
Wow. I didn't.
She's quite
I'm happy
the pagan person.
This listener knows so much about my cousin.
Yes.
Because I didn't even know this much.
She's quite an interesting person, and if she ever comes to Canada, I will be sure to extend to her an invitation to visit the ScruffCast. I know she'd love to visit. Well, to be fair, we did put out the call.
We did.
Last week, we did.
So you never know.
You never know. As for last week's question to ponder, this is a very interesting choice. I definitely would choose to say everything that comes to my mind.
Whoa!
Better to say too much than never to say what you need to say. Both John Mayer and I are in agreement on that point. Hopefully a little bit of the random crap I would spew might actually make sense to someone, so I'd take the chance for that reason. I know exactly how you feel, listener. Looking forward to another question to ponder. Dan's mom.
Ah, thanks, Mom.
We got the family supporting us. Yes, Mom.
We needed the answer to the pagan questions.
Yes.
And it had to come from my mom.
Yeah, unless the witch had some sort of, witchy powers to just... Like you know when how they say if somebody's like speaking bad about you, your ear like burns, right? If the witches have that sort of sense of like their ears point up, whoo, somebody's speaking about witchy stuff.
Witchy stuff.
Yeah,
because we're probably the only people in the world
speaking about that witchy stuff. Oi, oi. All right, very interesting. Thank you, listener.
What I don't get is the John Mayer reference.
I feel like it must be the lyrics.
Better to say too much than never to say what you need to say.
Better to say too much than never to say what you need to say. Wait, isn't he the say what you need to say? Isn't he that guy? Or is that somebody else?
Oh, maybe. I just know. Your body's a wonderland.
Oh, damn, we're going to get copyright strikes. You're too good at that rendition.
Thank you.
So the story I had about like the Wicca religion is one of the guys I work with, I think he was telling me it was his brother-in-law? Was his brother? I think it was his brother-in-law. Identified as... or the religion he followed was Wiccan because he's a school teacher, and then I think he was a teacher, and you can get different holidays off. Maybe he's not a teacher.
Okay.
You get different holidays off, and then in the Wiccan calendar, you get like all of these extra days. I think you get April Fool's Day off and everything.
Jesus,
it's like an absurd amount. You get way more.
That's interesting because what is it? York University is like run by Jews. Like it's a Jewish school.
Yeah.
Owned by Jews. Owned by the Jewish people.
Owned by some Jewish people.
Owned by some Jewish people.
Not the Jewish. If it was the Jewish people, then anybody could be like, I'm one of the Jewish. I'm part owner.
I'm the Jewish. And so you get all the Jewish holidays off as well as like the Catholic ones.
Not bad.
Like Christmas, all that.
So reading here about the Wiccan holiday calendar, they get February 1st or 2nd. It all has to do with like these different like
wherever it falls on the calendar.
The winter solstice, summer solstice stuff.
Okay.
March 20th, 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. April 30th or May 1st. June 20th, 21st, 22nd, or 23rd. August 1st. September 20 through 23rd. One of them. Halloween and December 20th through 23rd. So it doesn't seem like that many more compared to maybe the guy I work with is just making stuff up.
Yeah, but the thing is, they also get the Catholic holidays because we live in a Catholic country.
Yeah, I guess so.
So they'd also get those days on top.
It's pretty bizarre how like dominant like one religion can be. That like it affects the calendar of like we get those days off. Like it just shuts down. I don't understand why any country has to be a religion. I guess not, but like it permeates like through everything. Like think of like the year. That's based on like AD, like after Jesus died. Yeah. Like that's how we count the years. All right, we're not getting into it. We're not getting into the Jesus. This isn't the Jesus cast. Jesus mumbo jumbo. Just throwing it out there. Christian podcast. All right. Speaking of throwing it out there. Coming to us from WPTV.com, our first article of the week. Fort Pierce woman claims wind blew cocaine into her purse. I mean, who hasn't had that happen to them? Authorities say a Florida woman is blaming a windy day for the cocaine that police found in her purse. WPLG reported Kenesha Posey was one of 2 passengers in a car stopped by Fort Pierce police in late March. Police say an officer smelled marijuana and that, after searching the car, cocaine and marijuana in separate bags were found inside a purse Posey had on her lap. So they didn't really have to search the car too hard to find it. She had it right on her lap.
Yeah.
Authorities say they questioned Posey about the drugs. According to the police report, she responded, "It's a windy day. It must have flown through the window and into my purse." Posey was charged with a felony count of cocaine possession and a misdemeanor count of marijuana possession. She was later released on bond. It wasn't immediately known if she has a lawyer. Dan, has this ever happened to you? Driving up the street, you get pulled over, and you're like, "Oh, damn, where'd all these drugs come from? Just flew right through the window."
That cocaine must have flew right into my pocket.
Yeah, bagged and all.
Bagged and all.
Damn, I mean, I know they got a hurricane coming on the East Coast, but that's pretty extreme.
You know what, though? You might as well try. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if you're getting pulled over, I mean, what are you going to say? "Officer, this was mine." Can they prove that the wind didn't blow it in there?
Well, yeah, that's the thing, right? She could just keep pleading innocent.
"I swear it wasn't me, it was the wind."
It was the wind. After a while, I was like, my God, forget it. Just get this lady out of here.
Yeah.
$200 fine.
Yeah, not
And
bad.
she goes back to snorting her cocaine.
Well, she wouldn't get to keep the cocaine. I guess she'd just have to go outside, wait for another windy day, sit in her backyard. "I'm set!" She gets the kids out with the buckets. "LaQuisha, get out here! Bring the buckets! We got a cocaine storm coming up!
Cocaine storm's coming!
The kids running around. You like you know how when it's hailing outside, right? And you just hear like the hail hitting outside.
Yeah.
That'd be like it hitting
Little
the bottom of the
little bricks of cocaine.
yeah, little bricks of cocaine hitting the bottoms of the bucket. "We eating good today?"
She gets pulled over a week later with like a gun in her purse.
"I swear it was the lightning storm. All the magnetic energy charging stuck right to my car."
Crazy. It's always a Florida person. Florida man, Florida woman.
We've had a lot of Florida stories. The selling the golden tickets to heaven.
They are
practicing
nuts
karate on
down
the Swans.
there. You know what it is?
I've never been to Florida.
I've been many times.
Are they like that down there?
No, because we go to like Disney.
So it's not like that around Disney?
No, God, no. Central Florida, not so bad. Like Disney World and around there, Orlando. But like you go north, hey, because it's like they're Southerners up there. Even though like the lower part is more Southern, they're closer to the Alabamas and all that.
So how far would you have to go?
The Mississippis, and those are way worse.
So how far would you have to go from Disney World before you start to hit this territory? Like, what's the radius of like the Disney purity zone?
Oh, I don't know. Well, like Lake Buena Vista, which is the city that Disney owns.
They own the city?
They own the city.
Damn.
I think it's like 35 square miles. And that's where all the parks are. That's where everything is. Yeah. They have their own bus system. Oh, I could do a whole special on Disney.
The Disney cast?
I'd get my mom as a special guest in here. Whew, that'd be a good one.
Well, maybe one day we can do special episodes of the ScruffCast. Make our listener dreams come true. We made that one listener.
Yeah, the Make-A-Wish kid.
Make-A-Wish kid. Yeah. Kalon.
He's a nice boy. It's too bad he died. I don't know how far you got to go. I don't know, 45 minutes outside.
Damn, Disney's powerful.
Oh yeah,
45-minute crackhead boo-boo free radius.
Yeah, you got a crackhead boo-boo free radius for sure. Although I went to a shooting range while I was down there one time, and that was maybe a half hour away. And
you're a little too close to the end of the zone.
But we had guns, so you feel pretty safe.
Well, that's what they try to tell you. That's why they got so many of them in the United States. Listeners, write in with your thoughts on guns to scruffcast@gmail.com or follow us on Twitter @scruffcast. Or if you're watching on YouTube, hit the thumb up right now or we'll find you and then we'll give you crappy thumbnails.
We have been getting thumbs up, have we not?
We have. A couple episodes ago, we got a decent amount of thumbs up.
Nice.
So
keep it up.
Yeah, don't people like my thumbnails? Last week it was a witch dancing on a pole.
Oh, that's a good one. I haven't even seen that one yet. I'm gonna have to look that up right now.
All right, shall we move on to the next article?
We shall.
This comes to us from Huffington Post with the tagged with the subject crime. Author of How to Murder Your Husband arrested for allegedly murdering her husband.
Oh, well, how about that?
Romance novelist Nancy Crampton Brophy also wrote the books The Wrong Husband and Girl Most Likely To. All right. A romantic suspense novelist who once penned an essay entitled How to Murder Your Husband has been charged with killing her husband, Dan Brophy. Police in Portland, Oregon, arrested Nancy Crampton Brophy, 68, last Wednesday, and charged her with murder and the unlawful use of a weapon. Her husband, a 63-year-old chef, was fatally shot at a kitchen at the Oregon Culinary Institute on June 2nd. On the day of the murder, the author of the self-published novels The Wrong Husband and The Girl Most Likely To...
Oh, I gotta interrupt you. I'm just looking at the thumbnail right now. That is pretty good.
Well, listeners, go check it out and give us a thumbs up and comment and subscribe. The author took to Facebook to express her disbelief. Crampton Brophy has since made her now famous essay How to Murder Your Husband private. It was published on the C. Jane Publish blog, reportedly included sections on motives and possible weapons. Jesus Christ. In 2012, Crampton Brophy told the Romancing the Genres blog what attracted her to romantic suspense stories. And she said, "Murder, mayhem, and gore seem to come naturally to me, which means my husband has learned to sleep with one eye open." Jesus!
Yeah, well, at the time, that all seemed like fun and games, you know?
Yeah, like
Stephen King thinks of some really weird stuff.
One eye open. Oh, and then 6 years later, boom!
Boom! Kill her husband.
According to court documents, the couple were married for 26 years. So I found another article which has
You got to read her Facebook post, though.
Took
to Facebook to express her disbelief.
Was it linked here?
Oh, I have it.
All right, Dan, take it away.
All right. So this is her. So this was, I think, it was the day after? On the day after the murder, yeah. So she posted this on Facebook. For my Facebook friends and family, I have sad news to relate. My husband and best friend, Chef Dan Brophy, was killed yesterday morning. For those of you who are close to me and feel this deserved a phone call, you are right, but I'm struggling to make sense of everything right now. There's a candlelight vigil at Oregon Culinary Institute tomorrow, Monday, June 4th at 7 p.m. While I appreciate all of your loving responses, I am overwhelmed. Please save phone calls for a few days until I can function. Like, does that not sound like just complete, like, someone who's covering up, she's trying to make it seem like she's so heartbroken? Oh, for those of you who probably thought I should have called you, you're right, but I'm just so heartbroken.
Like this. And then she has the gall to say, please save phone calls. Like, I'm too busy. Sounds like somebody's secretary.
Yeah.
Please save phone calls. He's in a meeting.
Please save him for a few days till I can function, because I'm just so heartbroken right now. Like, you're full of it. I think if your husband was actually murdered, you wouldn't even post anything on Facebook. You wouldn't give a shit.
You'd be distraught.
You wouldn't care if anybody, to call people, hey, sorry, my husband died. I'm informing you. No, you don't care how people find out. You're not worried about that in that time.
Was killed, which was like, I imagine, if your husband died, it would be, heartbreaking.
Yeah.
Right? If, maybe old age or something. But if they were killed, then it's even worse. Right?
Yeah, exactly, yeah. Yeah, it's, because, someone dies of a somewhat natural cause, it's kind of is what it is. But someone's murdered, like, that's
a whole nother level.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay, yeah, this other article, yeah, you found another article.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's any more details here. It kind of talks about the previous stuff she wrote in blog posts a while back. Man, it goes quite in depth. It says that in November 2011 on the C. Jane Publish blog, she posted a post describing 5 core motives and a number of murder weapons from which she would choose if her character were to kill a husband in a romance novel. She advised against hiring a hitman to do the dirty work. An amazing number of hitmen rat you out to the police, she said, and against hiring a lover. Never a good idea. Poison? Not advised either. Who wants to hang out with a sick husband? This woman's had these thoughts for a long time. This is bizarre. If I was married to someone and then they were going in depth in this and putting it out there online, I'd be like, ooh.
Is everything all right?
I'm not feeling so good about this.
I know. What are you going to do, ask for a divorce? You definitely did.
Oh, yeah. 100%.
Oh, boy. I got this lady's picture just pulled up here.
The jowls
her
on this lady.
mugshot staring into my soul.
It's a little creepy. It's like her face, like her facial features, are too small for her face. There's
She's got this big fat square face.
Yeah, there's like a 1-inch perimeter around her facial features before you get to like the edge of her head. It's like if her face were the castle, she's got the moat around it.
Oh,
like
that's
protected.
Yeah.
Oh, give me the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah, oh my god, it's freaking me out, man.
Yeah. On to the next article.
Yeah, that's psycho.
Get out of here, murdering lady. All right. The next one comes to us from across a couple ponds over in India from oneindia.com.
John, do you care to test out some Indian accents today?
I do not know. I don't know. The listeners, they love the what was it? Our British accent.
Why can we so confidently pull out British accents, but the second, we go a little off white, it's wrong? We can't do accents then?
You know what? You're right. I'd say if you only did accents of white cultures, that's racist.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, well, to be fair, we did we talked about the very expensive water filtration system in Africa. Let me go get a double.
Oh, yeah, we did do the African accents.
Anyways, back to the story in Bengaluru. Passenger takes the wheel after drunk Uber driver passes out. Written by Pushyarag Shetty. It's literally spelled Push Yarag. Push your egg.
It sounds like the lyric to a Sean Paul song. Push your egg.
Push your egg, Shetty.
Samagal. Push your egg.
All right. Bengaluru, September 15th. The safety concerns of passengers in app-based cab services has always been debatable. In a fresh incident that seems to justify the debate, a passenger had to drive himself home after the Uber driver passed out from the excessive alcohol consumption. In a Twitter post, a user named Surya Uruganti wrote that he boarded an Uber cab from the Bengaluru International Airport and soon realized that the driver was in an inebriated condition. The passenger had to move over the driver and take the wheels himself. He also shot a video of the drunk driver and posted on Twitter and claims the driver was not the same person as showed in the app while booking the cab. Which right away leads me to believe, how did he know that it was his Uber if it was not the person?
Yeah, I didn't even know Uber had pictures of
He just
people.
jumps in the first car that rolls up and slows down with another Indian man in it.
Maybe it wasn't an Uber driver.
Push your egg, I'm getting in. Right? He jumps in there and the guy's like, he's out of it. Maybe he was driving to the airport to pick up his friend and now his friend got stranded. You know what? That's probably it. His friend was flying in and he's like, he's coming back. Yeah, so, he got a little liquored up beforehand. He got a little too excited. His buddy's coming back, waiting for him at the airport. And then this guy jumps in and he's like, oh, get out. Move to the other side.
Yeah, I'll drive. Yeah, this guy's probably not even an Uber driver.
Probably not.
He probably was just going out for a little drunk drive stroll.
I mean, like the driving...
And ended up in the airport because he was drunk.
I mean,
and then this guy hops into his car and he's like, oh, all right. Then the guy's like, hey, man, I'll drive. He's like, oh, great, thanks, man.
Damn, this is going pretty sweet. He's picking me up. Yeah, he's like just going with the flow. And the driving situation's already rough in India as it is because like...
How much trouble can you really get into as a drunk driver? You can't move anywhere.
Yeah, that's true. So,
I don't know what it's like in... Where are they from again?
Bengaluru.
Bengaluru. Never heard of Bengaluru.
I've heard of Bengals, like the tiger.
I've heard of...
like the NFL team.
Bangladesh.
Yes, that's Bangladesh. It's its own separate country. Isn't it? Bangladesh. It is. It's to the east of India and on the Bay of Bengal.
Oh.
What do you know? That makes sense that it's Bangladesh. Maybe Adesh means on the Bay of.
Maybe.
Who knows?
Push our egg.
Push our egg shitty. You think anybody like in other cultures looks at our whitey names and makes fun of them?
Yeah, like
John.
Jonathan. Hello, I'm Jonathan. They have like their own white accents.
Look at me, I'm Daniel. I have a Visa card. Like, you know what I mean? Like just the whitey things like, oh, look at my pumpkin spice latte.
Check out my polo.
Yeah, I don't think they wear Tommy Hilfiger over there.
No, I don't know.
No, that was the gist of the story, but like I was just thinking how pissed I would be if I like flew somewhere, because like I don't know where the guy was coming from, but maybe it's a far flight. He gets there, and then his Uber driver is just like inebriated. Oh, I'd be pissed.
God, dude, come on.
But he still got in the car. Like the second I get in the car, I'd be like, oh no, I'm getting back out. I'm ordering another Uber.
Yeah, you would know this guy was drunk as soon as you got into the car.
Crazy. Things are crazy over there in Bengaluru. Speaking of other countries where things are crazy, Dan, I got a story here involving our neighbors to the south, United States.
Ah, okay.
From thestar.com. Canadians who smoke marijuana legally or work or invest in the industry will be barred from the U.S., according to Customs and Border Protection officials.
Now, marijuana.
The devil's lettuce.
The devil's lettuce.
Yes.
Oh, I never heard of that one before. That was good. Anyway, it's becoming legal October 17th.
Yes, about a month.
Countrywide.
A month today.
Well, there you go. There you have it.
Yeah, on the federal level, it's becoming legalized in Canada. In the United States, it's still illegal at the federal level, but in different states have it legalized. I believe Washington State does, Colorado,
California,
and there's a couple other ones. And then it's like medicinal marijuana is legal in different states. But and I believe they're also working on legalizing it in Mexico as well. I mean, why not? I'm sure it's flowing freely through there anyway, right?
Yeah.
So the U.S.
and across the borders.
Right? So the U.S., they're like, no bueno, right? No, it's illegal. You can't come in the country. So I'll read you some details from the article here.
All right.
And we'll get our thoughts. Canadians will be barred from entering the United States for smoking marijuana legally, for working in Canada's legal marijuana industry, and for investing in legal Canadian marijuana companies, a senior U.S. Customs and Border Protection official says. Todd Owen said, who I guess is the Border Protection official, spoke with the U.S. website Politico and said the U.S. does not plan to change its border policies to account for Canada's marijuana legalization, which takes effect on October 17th. We don't recognize that as a legal business, said Owen.
With a stick up his ass?
Yes. That's why I gave him the stick up his ass accent.
I heard.
Executive Assistant Commissioner for the field of operations. Owen's comments corroborated anecdotal reports that have accumulated over the course of the year. Canadians with links to the nascent legal industry, including venture capitalist Sam Znamer and this chief executive of a BC agricultural machinery company, have already been given lifetime entry bans. This guy's given a lifetime entry ban because he's a chief executive of an agricultural machinery company, which I'm assuming they're using these machines to help grow and harvest the marijuana.
Right.
So he's given a lifetime ban. That's already ridiculous.
Yeah.
Owen said border officers will not begin asking every Canadian about their marijuana use. He said, however, the officers might ask if, in quotes, other questions lead there. Right. Or, in quotes, if there is a smell coming from the car, or if a dog detects marijuana residue.
Okay, well, I guess that's fair, but...
Kind of, but it's like a slippery slope.
Yeah.
Owen did not specify how much equity a Canadian has to hold in a cannabis company to be denied entry. Scott Bernstein, senior policy analyst at the Canadian Drug Policy Coalition, said he is troubled by the lack of clarity. You tell him, Scott. Thousands of Canadians have shares in cannabis companies, which are publicly traded on the Toronto Stock Exchange. They're investing in a completely legal industry in Canada, but it happens to be the cannabis industry. That person who owns a mutual fund and maybe doesn't even know where their money's going, are they going to be covered as well? Bernstein said. A good question.
Yeah.
Bernstein also expressed concern about U.S. profiling of people stereotyped as likely marijuana users, said the Canadian government should negotiate with the U.S. at least to secure entry for workers and investors, which is true because imagine you're traveling back and forth quite a bit for work and, maybe you work for a company that's tangentially related to the industry or something, right?
Tangentially, yes.
That's one of the ScruffCast's favorite words.
Oh, yeah.
However, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said Tuesday he doesn't think he has the right to press the U.S. on its admission policy, saying, every country has the right to judge who gets to come into their borders or not. I wouldn't presume to have any other country tell me how or who we can let into Canada. And I certainly won't work to assume or impress upon the U.S. who they have to let in or not. But there is no question that we are working with U.S. officials. They have legalized marijuana in a number of their states, and we're trying to make sure the travel between our two countries is not disrupted. Now, is it going to go without disruption? I doubt it. Do you doubt it?
Long pause there. I was waiting for more to come out of your mouth. That was all. I don't know. What I'm curious about is like, what if you fly to California or Washington State?
Yeah.
Or Colorado? It's legal there. Are you good? Like, but did you not say it's legal federally?
In Canada, not in the U.S.
Oh, I thought you said in the U.S. it's legal federally, but certain states have made it illegal in their own state.
No, it's the opposite. At the state level, it's legal in certain ones, but on the whole, at the federal level, it's illegal. And
So
then certain states... See, the U.S. is like strange like this, right?
Yeah,
I
'cause
suppose
when-
Canada's the same way with their provinces, but, it's illegal, right, at the federal level, but then the states make it legal within themselves. Think of like how here in Canada, the drinking age is like set on the province level, right? Like
Yeah, you're
here
right.
in Ontario, it's 19 years old is the
Quebec,
legal
it's
drinking
18.
age, but in Quebec, it's 18 because the French are all weird over there, right? So it's a similar sort of scenario. But now what kind of grinds my gears about this is it's becoming legal up here in Canada. It's becoming legal down there in Mexico. And, the states are slow to it, right? They're going to lose the battle. Eventually, it's going to have to become legalized.
Yeah.
Because, they're kind of getting squeezed by both countries above and below them. And then even on the state level, it's becoming legal. It's like, just get with the times. But what pisses me off is how, like, the U.S. just walks around. They think they're the best, right? Just, like, swinging their big metaphorical country dick around. Be like, look at us. We're so good. We get to call the shots. If you've done this, you don't get to come in. Which is, like, fair. It's your own country. You get to, say what you want. But it's like, even if it was legal here, which it will soon be, and you smoked it legally, they're like, nope, no, we don't want any bad actors in our country. We'll take the people here where the cocaine just flies in with the wind.
Yeah, like if you go to a country in Europe,
Yeah.
and legal drinking age was 18 and you're 18 there, and let's say you get to the border and they say, oh, did you have anything to drink while you were over there? You say, yes, I did. It's like, well, you're 18. It's like, oh, but it was legal there.
Yeah.
Think they're not going to let you in? They'll be like, oh, okay, fair enough. Come on
Of course, they're just doing this to, like, put pressure on Canada because all these, like, negotiations they're trying to do with NAFTA and all this stuff.
Yeah.
But one of the things that concerns me is, like, if you invest in the industry or if you work in the industry. So imagine you worked for a company, right? Mm-hmm. And then that company buys another company that's in, like, the weed industry. All of a sudden, your company's kind of technically in the
associated.
Industry. Are you not allowed? Like, you work at, like, a farmer's market type thing, right?
Yeah.
You guys could be like, maybe we're going to start growing our plants.
Well, yeah.
All of a sudden, boom!
Now I can't go to the States.
Barred from entry.
Well, I got an idea.
What?
Every American who owns a gun can't enter into Canada.
I've seen the same idea online, and it'd be totally fair. Canada could do the same thing.
Yeah.
Because you're definitely not allowed to bring them over the border.
No. Which is fine. But it's like saying, like, oh, but do you have one at home? And they say, well, yeah, I don't have it with me, obviously, but I have it at home.
And
well, no, sorry,
like,
you still can't
but
come.
it's perfectly legal at home. It's like, well, then
It
go home.
doesn't matter.
Go home and
Go home and shoot your
do
gun.
that then. It's the same thing, yeah. Because it specifically says Canadians who smoke it legally. So then if you smoke it illegally, is it fine?
I guess.
That's what I want to know.
Black market, you're still good. Come on in.
Come on in. Just wait for a windstorm. Get those buckets.
I actually don't think anything's going to happen out of this.
Probably not, but it was just kind of like annoying
There'll be nothing
that
at all.
the U.S. thinks that it's like,
Probably just one old guy.
It's
always the old people,
Yeah, like, give it up. Like, they're, trying to crack down on it. It's like, come on.
Marijuana's bad. Now let's drink a bottle of scotch tonight.
Yeah.
And then drive home because we're old.
I mean, come on. You can't avoid the stuff. Even in India, they're getting the bad Uber drivers.
Yeah.
I mean,
we'll see what happens.
what the heck? All right. Well, back over to the U.S. where everything is so perfect, except in Poughkeepsie. According to the PoughkeepsieJournal.com, Poughkeepsie teacher resigns after syllabus backlash. Backlash, one of my favorite topics to cover on the ScruffCast.
Yes,
I'm not talking about wrestling. A Poughkeepsie high school teacher resigned after handing out a syllabus on the first day of school that was thought by some to be offensive. Which, of course it's going to be offensive, everybody. You cannot get away without offending anybody.
Okay.
It's just impossible. Cesar Oliveras faced backlash over phrases included in the syllabus for his psychology class under the categories of required class materials and grading scale. And now, for listeners out there, maybe you're like, what the hell's a syllabus? It's like that thing that you get the first day of school that sort of like defines, the expectations for the class, and it's like an outline, right?
Yeah.
Usually you get them in high school. It is an outline of the subjects in a course of study or teaching. So he handed out the syllabus. People got offended. A quote from the syllabus reads, "You have to have a notebook for this class! Exclamation, exclamation, exclamation mark." The syllabus read, "If you can afford your phone bill / expensive sneakers, then you or your parents can afford to buy a notebook."
Fair point.
Fair. I'm not going to disagree
Yep.
with Cesar. The syllabus also included profanity in telling students if they, in quotes here, turn in half backside work, I will give you a half backside grade. Backside being
Ass.
like censored down from the word ass on the actual syllabus. The Poughkeepsie Journal couldn't, they couldn't type it. They don't want people to be offended here.
Yeah, exactly.
Right, so a backside. If you turn in half-ass work, I will give you a half-ass grade, he says.
Also fair.
So he was hired as a social studies teacher in January 2017 and still had probationary status when he resigned on September 7th. "As this is a personnel matter, there is no comment that I will make concerning this individual," said interim superintendent Kathleen Farrell. No relation to Will Ferrell from the hit movie Elf.
Or maybe there is.
Maybe. I actually
never know.
injected that in there. She could totally be related.
She could be, yeah.
She could.
It doesn't say that in this article.
No.
That would be funny.
That would be. What a connection.
Yeah.
Well, maybe
That would be funny if it had said that in the article. Like, that'd be funny. It's like, why did you need to put that?
I just assumed that this lady was related to Will Ferrell.
Yeah, like, no, I don't think anybody's assuming that.
If I led one of these news websites, you know what I would do? Anytime somebody had a name like this, where it was like could be related, I would say, "No relation to this person whose hit movies you can buy here on Amazon," and put affiliate links in, right, to make extra money.
Right, we'll add revenue.
I mean, how much revenue is the PoughkeepsieJournal.com bringing in these days?
I can't imagine much.
The Poughkeepsie mother, whose concern first drew attention to the syllabus, said she has mixed feelings about Oliveira's resignation. "I don't think that was the best outcome," said Charlie McIver, whose Facebook post about the syllabus garnered hundreds of comments and shares. "What has the district learned?" As a social worker, McIver said she was excited for her daughter to take her first psychology course. "But when the two read over the syllabus on September 6th, my enthusiasm shifted to disbelief. I thought the statements were inappropriately worded and were stereotypical and offensive."
Stereotypical.
I know, that's like, how often do you hear about I'll give you a half-ass grade if you give half-ass work. Like,
Yeah.
I've never heard this before in my life.
What was stereotypical in that? Whatever.
"What about the kids who truly couldn't afford anything? How do they feel?" McIver said. "Why is it okay to talk to and judge Poughkeepsie students this way?" Which is just like, oh my, like, give me a break. If you can't buy a notebook for school, then maybe this mom should go and buy them notebooks if she's so torn up about it. But what about those kids who truly can't afford notebooks?
Yeah.
Now everybody.
I don't want to buy them for them, but just what about them? No,
Yeah,
right?
what about them? I want them to go there without notebooks, and then this piece of paper won't offend them. Some commenters on McIver's post of the syllabus said they agreed with Oliveira's or didn't find the contents offensive. "I feel saddened by the fact that some adults and children would find it acceptable that a professional educator would address students in the manner so publicly," McIver said. Through a Freedom of Information request, the Poughkeepsie Journal obtained a September 6th email, which Farrell wrote to a district parent in Oliveira's letter of resignation, which he wrote September 7th. This line strikes me very weirdly. Through a Freedom of Information request, they got hands on this confidential
Private
email that was
email?
sent. Yeah, it's that doesn't really sound like freedom of information.
No, it doesn't at all.
Listeners, you better keep sending your emails in quick before these Poughkeepsie Journal comes and takes it away.
Yeah. Or we'll just come and take all your emails.
Yeah, you know what? That's a good idea. I want to find out and do a little more research on this Freedom of Information request and see if we can just, instead of having our listeners email us, let's just go steal their information.
Okay, we'll look into that.
Yeah, we'll go into your own Google Keep. Whoop! Oh, now I know what you're thinking about Question to Ponder. Oh, you best be lucky if you don't have to say everything that comes to your mind. Just write it down here. So they, shadily backdoor deals here get this email.
Yeah.
And Farrell, the superintendent with no relation to Will.
Not Will,
said,
yeah.
"This serious matter will be addressed promptly." That's the whole email? Oliveira's was not named in the email. He resigned the next day in a one-sentence handwritten letter. McIver said she's disappointed with the outcome. She didn't want him to be fired. Well, maybe she shouldn't have put up a big stink about it.
Yeah, exactly.
"Our district is already struggling for qualified teachers to prepare them better for their future," McIver said. "I wanted my child to have a quality psychology class." Well, maybe you shouldn't have put up a big stink about him saying that they'll get half-ass marks. Maybe she was worried that her little shithead kid would have, hand in half-ass work and get half-ass grades.
Yeah, probably. Like, this guy just seems like he's maybe just somebody who has a good sense of humor, right? And he's just like, I'm going to make some jokes at these kids, Hey, you hitting half-ass work. You're going to get a half-ass mark. You can afford those shoes and the things, but you can't afford textbooks?
Hey, you're jabroni. Yeah, you're going to get a half-ass mark.
Just messing
just
around,
one
right?
cheek, not two. But he committed one of the sins that I hate. He had 3 exclamation marks in a row on the syllabus. You must have a notebook for this class. I hate that. The worst offender is when people have the multiple question marks. My sister does this sometimes. My stepdad does it as well. Where you
Question marks?
Where you have you ask a question and there's 2 question marks or 3. Because it's hey, are you home for dinner?
Okay. Huh? Are you?
Yeah, exactly. But I understand if it's in person, right? It's hey, right? But it's in text. It's I see the question mark. Okay, this is a question.
Yeah.
But anyways.
Yeah.
So for that reason alone, maybe he should deserve prison for life. Who knows?
Yeah.
Okay, I got a quick little question for you here.
Okay.
If you became prime minister or president, you could enact one rule, right? Mm-hmm. And it's one petty thing. This would be a good question to ponder, but one petty thing where it's if you commit this, you get prison for life.
Just whatever little thing you don't.
Yeah, for me, I think it's when people are walking in front of me, on the sidewalk, and then they just stop in the middle.
That bothers me.
Boom! Prison for life, no parole.
People who are late.
Ooh, I don't like that one.
But yeah, I know, because you're late all the time.
Because I'm stuck behind these people standing in the middle.
It's not so much being late. It's poor time management skills. Don't leave at a proper time. You're going to jail.
Fair enough.
There's someone specific who I'm talking to.
We don't name names on the ScruffCast.
But I don't think that person listens anymore, so.
No. We don't name names. Maybe by the time they listen, it'll
See, now I'm getting all salty. look what you did to me.
Just thinking about it. All right. The ScruffCast, a salt-free podcast.
You're right.
That's
Moving
not
on.
true.
Moving on.
We get salty all the time.
Oh, we're about to get real salty.
We're about to get real salty because coming from metro.co.uk. The iPhone is sexist because it's not built for women's hands, feminists claim. Listeners, you heard that right. Not built for women's hands.
Let's hear it.
The tech giant, Apple, released 3 new handsets earlier this week while discontinuing the iPhone SE, the company's last device with a 4-inch display. Among Apple's new handsets is the iPhone XS Max, which is a terrible name, which features a 6.5-inch display, the company's biggest on a smartphone to date. Caroline Criado Perez, a female rights activist, took to Twitter to voice her frustration at the iPhone maker. So to be clear, Apple has once again failed to update the only phone it makes that fits the average woman's hand size, she said. Weak applause all round for my arthritic hands. Anyways, I guess I'd better upgrade now before they discontinue the only phone that fits the average woman's hand size. What the hell is wrong with you, Apple? Women buy smartphones. In fact, more women buy iPhones than men. Designed for our bodies. Yes, queen.
Slay. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, you got anything you want to say here about?
Well,
I've got an idea.
Yeah.
Why doesn't she just buy a phone from a different company? If she doesn't like the way Apple makes the phones. That's the great thing about,
capitalism and free choice.
Just choice.
The market.
You know what, Apple? I don't... those iPhones don't fit my hand anymore. Well, I got some news for you, lady. I think Samsung phones are just as big.
Yep, and all the phones are just as big nowadays.
Get a flip phone, lady.
Yeah,
you go to Best Buy, you get the pay-as-you-go phone, you put your SIM card into it, and there you go. And shut up. It's a goddamn cell phone. Really?
How is she sending this tweet? Probably from her big-ass iPhone that's too big for her hands.
Exactly. Okay.
Following the end of the iPhone SE, the smallest display size now on offer is 4.7 inches, used on the iPhone 7 and iPhone 8. When the iPhone 6 launched in 2014, Apple added a reachability feature to it and future iPhones that moves content at the top of the screen to the bottom half to make it easier for users to use their handset with one hand.
That's very nice of them.
It is, and there's a similar feature on the Samsung phones as well. I had it on my old Samsung because the phone was like a little tall, right? Sometimes it's a little tough to reach with one hand, but you know what? That's why I got two hands, right? Maybe this woman, if she didn't have two hands, I'd give her a break. I'd be like, that's rough. Well, what can you do?
Yeah, but she probably wouldn't be complaining about an iPhone. She would be happy to still have one hand.
Yeah.
She'd be like, oh man, life. I realize, I wish I had that old hand back, but I don't have that. She would look at life differently,
Yeah.
She wouldn't be complaining about a goddamn cell phone.
Maybe in the UK over there, they need to enact a program where people who whine too much online, boom, take one hand off, Jaime Lannister style. That's a Game of Thrones reference, Dean.
And then go to prison.
And then go to prison with your one hand. So Sophie Walker, leader of the Women's Equality Party. Sounds like a fun time. Also joined the criticism saying women's needs will remain an afterthought at the company until women are better represented at senior level.
Okay, so now this is
now they're taking it too far. So
do we even have to read this? We shouldn't even
So
we're not going to get into gender pay gaps.
So basically,
I don't even want to go there. Because I don't know anything about it.
Well, it's okay.
Maybe it's the same. Maybe it's not. I don't even know.
We don't need to know anything to talk
You're
about
right. How has that stopped us before?
Go, right? So, basically, the gist I'm getting is women out there, you got these little teeny weeny baby hands, and the phones are too big.
You damn little teeny weeny baby hands.
Yeah, I got
Maybe you should grow your hands a little damn bigger.
Teeny weeny bitchy hands. And the phones are too big, and you just can't handle it. And Apple before was like so thoughtful, and they're like, the phones are getting too big. Let's make the little teeny weeny size.
For your dumb little teeny weeny hands.
For the dumb little teeny weeny hands, right? And then guess what? They're probably like, wow, nobody's actually buying this phone, so let's stop making the small phone because Apple's worth over $1 trillion. If the phone was selling, they would keep making the phone.
That's generally what happens, yeah.
Exactly. If the phone was selling, they would keep making phones in this size. But it's probably not selling, so they're like, why even bother?
Yeah.
Or they're like, who cares about...
We're not making money. Maybe this is costing us money. Forget it. We got to cut it out.
Right? Who cares about whatever this woman's complaints are?
Natalie Perez or Cynthia Perez. Or
So then, the other lady, the leader of the Women's Equality Party, said it had to do because of Apple's executive level, with a gender pay gap of 24% at Apple's UK headquarters, and a bonus gap of 57%. It is pretty clear who's making the big decisions for Apple, and they're not women. I'll tell you who's making the big decisions for Apple. Not the people in the UK. That's why on the back of every iPhone and Apple product, it says, designed in California.
Yeah.
Because it's not designed in the UK.
You dumb bitch.
Sophie Walker, take that. So it's not surprising the company hasn't thought through the impact on consumers who aren't men, but it is short-sighted. A 2015 study found women were more likely to own an iPhone than men. Oh, are you woman-splaining us now? Women have more money than men to buy all these iPhones?
Wow. Thanks.
I'm going to fire up the Twitter account.
Women-splaining.
Boom. Just sent out a tweet.
Oh.
Bitch. That's all it said. Oh, here's a fun note here.
Oh, yeah.
Just a quote from her. The boys at Apple are obviously obsessed with size, but they should realize performance matters too. I feel like this woman is projecting a lot of problems in her personal life.
Oh, yeah. She's projecting a lot of anger just onto the internet to dead ears.
So the article says here, it's also worth pointing out that the XS Max is actually smaller than previous Plus models. Just to show you, they don't know what they're talking about.
What's funny is anyone I've known to have one of the really big phones, like the Plus ones, have all been women.
There you go.
Because they don't have to put it in their pockets. I mean, sometimes they do, but they put it in their purses, right?
That's a good point. What about pockets? Men, we got these smaller pockets.
Yeah, we get the big hands.
We actually have pockets. Most women's clothes barely even have pockets.
Yeah.
And it's not designed for men's pockets. I'm gonna complain. And
I can't shove an iPad in my back pocket.
It's because these big fashion industry giants, they don't care about men's pockets. They don't care about men's clothes. That's why when you walk into a store, it's like 90% women's stuff and like 10% men's stuff. But you don't see us complaining. Except for right now. But normally you don't.
I think we've turned to... We're Menists.
Menists? Yeah, there's feminists.
Feminists?
There's no Menists.
We're Menists.
It sounds a little too much like menace.
I know.
But you know what I mean.
Hey, would that go work too?
That could work too. You mess with me, you mess with one of us, you mess with all of us.
All right. Oh, yeah. Anything else here?
I don't know. I suppose not. It's time to enter the final segments of the week. So, Dan, I know you always like to, get the bad stuff out of the way first, so we end on the good note. So, who was your jabroni of the week?
My jabroni of the week is feminists.
Oh, across the
all
board.
of them. Feminists across the board. Not even that one specific Perez. It's just all of them. All the ones like her.
Yeah, because people like to say, feminists, it's like people who believe in equality, men and women. It's like,
then you know what?
That just like regular people?
Yeah, call me a feminist because I believe in equal stuff too.
There you go. The ScruffCast, a feminist podcast.
Yeah, if I'm shoveling the snow, you should be shoveling the snow. If I'm changing the tires on the car, you should be doing it too, right? Equal.
But Dan,
that's what it's all about,
you gotta
right?
be cooking the pies too. If I'm cooking the pies,
I can cook something.
There you go. Boom.
Did you ever think about that? Maybe just this is the way the world was always supposed to be. Like
what? Like everything equal?
Okay, I was thinking about this today, right? Back in the day, it was like hunters and gatherers.
Yeah.
This whole world's getting so gay that we're all just gonna be gatherers. There's gonna be no hunters.
There's gonna be nobody hunting anything.
There's no hunters, and we're all gonna be gatherers, and we're all just gonna die.
But you know what? We're gonna have a lot of berries.
So many berries. I don't know.
All right, so that was your jabroni of the week.
Yeah, this is why I chose to never say anything again for a question to ponder.
That's exactly why.
I filtered that. It was much worse in my head.
Oh boy. It's hard to disagree with the woman from that article complaining about being the jabroni of the week, but we like to have different picks here.
Yeah, it's fun.
So I almost want to say jabroni of the week is the woman who complained about the syllabus on Facebook. And then she's like, I just wanted my daughter to have a good psychology experience class.
Yeah, that is a great choice.
Well, guess what? Jabroni of the week. I wish we would edit these. I mean, we could, but we just don't.
Yeah.
Where when we say jabroni, it has like the sound where, it's like the outdoors closing. Like,
yeah.
Like locking it in. All right.
I like it.
All right. Hero of the week.
You want me to go first?
Yeah.
I'm going off the board, John.
Off the board?
Off the board. I'm going with Vontae Davis.
What? Who's that?
For those of you who don't know or don't pay attention to sports, yesterday in the Buffalo Bills game, Vontae Davis plays for the Buffalo Bills. Halftime of the game, retires
halfway through the game.
Bills were getting smacked around, and they got smacked around last week, and he said enough's enough. And Buffalo is also garbage. I'm out of here. Retires halfway through the game. Veteran move. I love it. Love it. Hero of the week.
Veteran move always gets
move.
Always gets you the hero of the week.
I'm out of here. Buffalo's stinky.
It's so veteran that he instantly went into the Buffalo alumni before the end of the game.
Yeah.
So of course he's a veteran now. So it's a veteran move.
Veteran move all the way around.
Right? You start the game on the starting lineup. End of the game, you're eligible to have your banner up there.
That's it.
Can't say I disagree. But
love it.
If I had to pick my hero of the week, it would be the man who, stepped in there for his drunk Uber driver. So that's all right. Push your eggs, Shetty. I got you covered.
Yeah, push your eggs.
Push your egg. We're going. And
push a rag over. Get it off my seat. I need to sit. All right. Okay. Ooh, we have a question ponder for next week.
We do. This is a good one. Go ahead. I think they're all good, but
this is a good one. I like this one too.
If you were the first person to land on Mars, what would you say? Like Neil Armstrong's famous phrase from when he stepped on the moon. He said, "That's one small step for man, one giant leap for mankind." What would be your famous words?
Yeah.
You're
the first person on Mars.
Yeah, it's going to permeate throughout the history of the universe.
What are you saying?
We
want to know. We want to know what you guys would say.
I know our listeners out there are a creative bunch of folks.
They are.
So hit us up, scruffcast@gmail.com.
Find us on Twitter @ScruffCast.
Just type your answer in the comments. No context.
You do.
Just write like watermelons, and then we're going to be like, that would be the first words. Maybe they really love watermelons.
Watermelons. Yeah, maybe.
Hit us up there. If you're listening on iTunes, maybe go in there, give us a little 5-star review. We said long ago we would do impressions.
Have you gotten any?
There was one person on there said, very funny and entertaining, but it was me who wrote the review.
Oh, boy.
Not going to lie. So go on there, share this with your friends. I know some of you have friends out there who haven't heard of the ScruffCast. And they probably see you sitting there chuckling in class or on the bus or whatever, and they're like, "What's so funny over there, Janelle?" And you go, "You gotta hate this guy's Jon and Dan. They're so funny." So tell them about the ScruffCast.
Yeah.
And that's it. Do it up.
That's it. All right. That's the end of this episode. Episode 36. Thanks for listening, everybody, and we'll catch you next week.
As I'm watching her go all out, thinking this, oh damn, that bad thing. I can tell you're really good at distracting.
Boom. Prison for life. No parole.